Hey, Star Wars fans! So I finally jumped into Star Wars The Acolyte, and I have to say, I was wrong. So episode 1 is a great start for the show because it impresses a real sense of optimism, not just for the show, but for Star Wars as a whole. And I really mean that. So the episode kicks off with an amazing fight scene. It kept my interest from the start, even though I didn't know what the two characters were fighting about. But it was so cool that it was harkening back to the old school Kung Fu movies.
Attack me with all your strength.
I think it was because the pacing was so good and the fact that Trinity was in the scene. I think it was such a unique action sequence for Star Wars because it reflects the progressive direction that the franchise is taking, especially because it was two strong females dominating. The scene also subverted my expectations when it came to the dialogue. This was because of the order of the placement of the dialogue. It was so clever to start not just the scene, but the series with action, because this disorientates the audience. It was a genius move by Leslye Headland to manipulate to guide the audience into trusting that the director would reveal the contextual details at the appropriate time. I think that placing the dialogue that gave us context to the fight later on in the scene was a genius move that forced that got the audience to think. Who are these two? Why are they fighting? Why do I give a shit? This action scene was so good, it made me feel like I could do it. Maybe even better. I mean, the way... what's the character's name again? May. That's it. May. Is that as in Mae West? Was she a feminist? The way she took out Trinity was really, really clever. It was a little bit funny too because because the tavern owner, he clumsily interrupted the fight. Which distracted Trinity, and that gave May, the assassin, the upper hand.
A considerable margin, and
Now that's funny.
Now I've seen some people getting upset about the fact that there was fire in space when the other sister, Osha, when Osha went to repair a fault on the ship she was on. Quite frankly, I think those people are reading too much into it and they need to get a life. I mean, it's set in a world with space wizards and laser swords. Get over it. Can't you see what's really going on there? She's a mechanic, a type of mechanic. But she's not just a mechanic. Being a mechanic is an extremely dangerous job because they do repairs on the outside of starships. People always try and use the argument that men are the ones who do the dangerous jobs. Well, this show is being bold enough to dispel that myth. Women can do dangerous jobs too. It was also amazing to see so many diverse people in this show. It's about time we got a break from you know who.
It is hope.
I also love the fact that when the Jedi Master asked the Padawans what they saw in their meditation, it was the girl Padawans who answered.
And tell me, what comes into your mind?
Life. I see fire.
This was such a bold move by Leslye Headland to promote the progressive nature of the show. The fact that little girls and women have a voice. Now what people don't realize is that this show is an opportunity for women to support each other. I just don't see the problem people have with Leslye casting her lesbian lover in the role of Vernestra Rao? I'm calling her Vernie. I just don't see the problem people had with Leslye casting her lesbian lover in the role of Vernie.
The partners decided it would be best to avoid the appearance of nepotism.
There was also a very clever and humorous moment that subverted my expectations. It was when the prisoner transport ship got damaged. Osha was still trapped in her cell when the other prisoners, who were all men, mounted a prison break. So she tries to use the force, but it just wasn't happening. Then, all of a sudden, turbulence jolts the ship, right? And that put the ship at an angle that caused her droid Pip to slide over to her cell. So she just picks it up and activates it. See, that's funny because it's usually at that moment the hero beats the odds to get out of the bad situation that they're in. But it's a subversion of expectation because it was a random occurrence that got Osha out of her situation. Get it? It was almost as if Leslye was taking a friendly dig at the scene in the ice cave when Luke was on Hoth. It was brilliant. That was such a crucial scene for the episode, maybe even the entire series. I do have one criticism though. I don't understand why Osha and May have the exact same hairstyle. I think they could have been a bit more creative with that. But I'm holding out hope that there will be a really clever explanation as to why that is. Now, as for the mysterious big bad, we all know who's under there. It's a white dude.
The man!
Who else?